natural disasters have afflicted humanity from the dawn of time. Hurricanes, earthquakes, floods, and tsunamis led to the death of around 60,000 people every year. According to the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, the number of people seriously affected by these disasters has grown to 150 million, with international aid reaching billions of US dollars to assist the affected countries. Over the last 2 decades alone, the Emergency Events Database has recorded 7,348 natural disasters around the globe. The top 10 most devastating disasters that have occurred around the world over the last 100 years have caused the death of nearly 6 million people. So in this video, we will discuss the top 10 most deadliest natural disasters of history. Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon for more informative and unique videos. Let's get started. 1. Yangtze River floods, China. Period, July and August 1931. In the period between July and August 1931, China suffered excessive rainfall, which, in conjunction with the spring snowmelt in the mountains, led to floods along the Yangtze River, which led to what is considered to be the deadliest natural disaster in the world history. The outcome of this disaster, according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, 3.7 million people lost their lives, 51 million people were affected, and 180,000 square kilometers were flooded. 2. Tangshan earthquake, China, July 28, 1976. The city of Tangshan in China, with a population of 1 million, suffered from an earthquake of 7.8 magnitudes on the Richter scale on July 28 at 3:42 a.m. According to Beijing time, Tangshan, the Chinese coal mining and industrial metropolis, were almost destroyed, and most of the fatalities were caused by the collapse of unreinforced masonry dwellings in which people were sleeping. It is considered to be the deadliest earthquake of the 20th century. The outcome, according to the book Earthquake Engineering and Hazards Reduction in China, about 659,000 to 800,000 people were injured, and 240,000 fatalities, 655,000 fatalities, according to the unofficial estimates. 3. Bhola cyclone, Bangladesh, November 12 to 13, 1970. In 1970, Bangladesh was hit by the Bhola tropical cyclone. The wind speed, based on data from National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Hurricane Research Division, reached 205 kilometers per hour, making it the world's deadliest tropical cyclone to date. According to the report produced by the National Hurricane Center and the Meteorologist Department, there was a severe challenge in providing the exact numbers of the storm's victims, mainly due to the increased number of seasonal workers who had arrived in the region to harvest rice. The outcome, according to the Hurricane Research Division, 300,000 to 500,000 fatalities, $86 million in damages, and 3.6 million people were affected. 4. Haiti earthquake, January 12, 2010. One of the deadliest earthquakes ever registered struck the small island country of Haiti in January 2010 with a magnitude of 7.0 on the Richter scale, and with the epicenter being 25 kilometers from the capital Port-au-Prince. And as one of the world's poorest countries with a limited history of such high magnitude earthquakes, structures that were earthquake resistant, and a high population density, the disaster left Haiti facing high levels of damage, death, and casualties. The outcome, according to UNICEF, 3 million people were affected and over 220,000 fatalities, 300,000 damaged or destroyed. 5. Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami, December 26, 2004. A disastrous earthquake with a magnitude of 9.1 on the Richter scale just off the west coast of Sumatra in Indonesia, in the Indian Ocean, provoked a massive tsunami that struck 12 countries in South Asia and East Africa, traveling at a speed of around 800 kilometers per hour and generating waves as high as 30 meters. Due to its speed, people had little time to escape the dangerous regions. The outcome, 226,400 fatalities, according to UNICEF, $10 billion in damages, and 2 million people displaced. 6. Typhoon Nina Banqiao and the subsequent flood, China, August 5th to 9th, 1975. One of the most devastating floods in history occurred in central China as a result of the heavy rain brought by Typhoon Nina that poured down over a 3-day period. The typhoon was followed by the Banikao Dam failure on the River Ru in the western Chinese province of Henan on August 8, and 61 dams and reservoirs failed in the other regions. The outcome, according to the report, Typhoon Nina and the August 1975 flood over central China. 10 million people were left without shelters, $6.7 billion in financial loss, 150,000 fatalities, and 145,000 became a victim of the epidemic due to water contamination and hunger. 7. The Great Kanto Earthquake, Japan, September 1, 1923. This earthquake struck at midnight, reaching a magnitude of 8.2 on the Richter scale and leaving the capital of Tokyo and the city of Yokohama in ruins. It also produced a tsunami with waves that reached 12 meters high and provoked fires that were caused by overturned cooking stoves in numerous homes combined with heavy winds. The outcome, according to Brown University's Center for Digital Scholarship, about 130,000 fatalities, 90% of buildings damaged in Yokohama or left in ruins, and 350,000 buildings in Tokyo were damaged. 8. Bangladesh cyclone, Marian or Gorky, April 22 to 30, 1991. Considered to be one of the deadliest recorded tropical cyclones in history, this struck Chittagong, one of the most densely populated regions in Bangladesh, with winds reaching a speed of up to 210 kilometers per hour. Due to a shortage of portable water and a lack of sanitation, the prevalence of diarrhea and dysentery rocketed, with as many as 2,000 deaths reported in the first 3 weeks after the cyclone had hit. Despite the fact that the cyclone had no official name, documentation from the U.S. Aid and the U.S. Army referred to it as Cyclone Marian, while Time magazine dubbed it as Cyclone Gorky. The outcome, according to U.S. Aid, 139,000 fatalities, with the same number of injured, 80 to 90% of all buildings destroyed, 780,000 homes destroyed, and $1.78 billion spent on construction and rehabilitation. 9. Cyclone Nargis, Myanmar, May 2nd to 3rd, 2008. This Category 3 cyclone had a serious impact on Myanmar, including its largest city, Yangon, and was also responsible for landfall in the Irrawaddy division. The ecology of the Irrawaddy and Yangon divisions, regions where locals' livelihood are strongly dependent on natural resources, was devastated by Nargis. The outcome, according to the United Nations Environment Program, over 140,000 fatalities, 43% of freshwater ponds were destroyed, over 50 townships were affected, 57 houses were destroyed, 31% were damaged, and 2.4 million people were affected. 10. Kashmir earthquake, Pakistan, India, Afghanistan, October 8, 2005. This disastrous earthquake struck at 8:50 a.m. local time with a registered magnitude of 7.6 points on the Richter scale. The most affected regions were Kashmir and the Northwest Frontier Province in Pakistan, and nearby regions in India and Afghanistan. The outcome, according to Earthquake Engineering Research Institute, 500,000 families were affected, with 87,350 fatalities according to the Pakistani government's official data, although estimates show this figure exceeded 100,000, 3.7 million people displaced, and 780,000 structures seriously damaged. The final words. Climate change exacerbates the risk of natural disasters and increases the danger of catastrophic weather events. Due to increased temperatures in the atmosphere and hydrosphere around the globe, experts are registering continuously rising sea levels, increasing wind speeds, increased rainfall, and flooding. At the same time, figures regarding fatalities in the early to mid-20th century were much higher compared to the death toll in recent decades. Improvements in living standards, the construction of resilient infrastructure, and effective response tools have all contributed to this progress. These trends have been fueled by an increase in earnings worldwide, but there is still much to be done to eliminate poverty and tackle climate change. So guys, that was all about today's topic. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more informative and amazing videos. See you soon in the next video. Goodbye.